So we join in from last week as the group had made the scary decision to split the party, with Ichi going on in the vehicle to finish the race, and Dante, Eleni, and Volu heading down into the cavern, grappling Hook and ziplining all the way down to come across what at first seemed like an attack from some Xorn that were eating and attacking the crystals on the bottom of the vehicles. However, Dante, trying to talk to them in a garbled primordial, discovered that they were running from something themselves. Emerging out from the cavern wall, a golem made of crystal, but also its entire right side covered in weird oozy liquid that almost gives the crystal a liquidy form. As the battle has unfurled, and we ended as Dante had the most of the group had decided to run and were making tracks. They actually got a lot of the survivors out as well. I will note that. You got most of the people onto the other vehicle and sent them on their way. But Dante stepping forward and transforming into his Ifriti form once again, flaming hair, red skin, and long claws. And as he did, the creature turned and fixed their gaze. Now, I will remind you that you saw one of the people that they subsumed stepped out, and is here as one of the almost weirdly covered in pustules and boils and rashes and stuff. And we were top of the round, I believe, because I'm sorry as well to remind everyone, as you were turning to run, top of the round, a large earthquake shook the cavern, and there is a large, maybe 100-foot section of the bridge that has now gone and collapsed. As you're looking, and I will say, Volu and Eleni, give me perceptions as you guys were running that way. Dante, you'll see it happen, but right now you do have the attention and almost like that power feed, that initial rush. Ichi had finished the race, and are you continuing or turning back? What I will say is, for while you think about your options here, the bit that you dropped down from at the end of the invisible road was 20 foot high. You can use, because you haven't used the car's jump mechanic once, right? You didn't need it in the actual race.
I think we used it once, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did.
I jumped and tried to kind of just get in front of someone and
Yeah,
we did it to jump over the.
You did, but that still means you've got 3 uses on it. So you potentially could. Now it's more difficult for each, and this is where it's up to you. Go that way. You can also just continue forward, same speed, but I'll come to you in a moment on your turn. But just to let you know, the people around you, as I said last time, are reacting already, and there are people moving. You have already got the eyes of a few other people, and I will say, as you pull in and they're people are cheering, the announcer does say another vehicle has left the cavern, and you can't see it from here, but clearly they're announcing that another vehicle has made it onto the invisible path. But yes,
did Ichi actually go up and tell people? Was he just about to?
He told a familiar when he was driving down, and he hasn't I mean, I think you shouted. At the end, you shouted, "They're under attack. The drivers are under attack."
Yeah, I gestured to some guards and were "You get going, get to the cave."
So obviously on your turn, it's going to be up to you whether you want to wait for anyone, try and grab anybody, or just book it back. You are welcome to go about however you want. However, sorry, top it, because this is sort of your arriving at top of the round, if that makes sense. So Golem, now fully transfixed on Dante, is going to come stomping forwards.
How fast is it? Does it cover that distance easily?
It's no, it seems fair. While it's quite liquid, it moves between liquid and like shifting. It doesn't move that fast. It seems to come forward. So it comes forward 30 and then comes forward 60. However, it is gonna then raise its sort of liquidy arm at you, and as you saw before, the end sort of crystallizes, and it's. I'm gonna ask for perception because you're at quite a distance.
Oh, that's rubbish. Shocker. 4.
Okay, so you're looking at this thing as it fires. However, you notice the aim is poor and it just over your shoulder. And as before, you see when it hits, it immediately like turns back to goo and starts like sizzling and fizzing on the surface that it landed on behind you.
We still have what's her face as well, don't we?
Well, Tabitha was trying to run, but yes,
Yeah.
you do still have Tabitha. This guy is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5%. And these, if you remember from last week, were faster once they encountered something. So they rush all the way forwards to about 30 feet from you, 25 feet from you, Dante. They're just like running towards you. And again, 30 seconds ago, this guy was a fairly dazed, confused guy that was searching for his friend that had gone missing. This is the driver of the desert hopper. So he was looking for barter. So we then come to Dante's turn.
And there's no memories or anything based on like past, like my borrowed life, as it were, with of Tenebris.
Give me. It's gonna be charisma.
Could it
But
not be history or
no? So it's gonna be
religion?
charisma, but I'm gonna allow you to add your proficiency to it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Because you're trying to take the time that they were like, you know what I mean? You're trying to pull from memories you don't already have access to.
Okay. 17.
Okay. So,
by the way, is this an action or is this a bonus action or just free?
No, I would say that I'm gonna say it's a bonus, just because it is. You just because I'm gonna actually more because it was successful, but because you're having to flash through the actual like thought process. You get a few flickers and it's old. It's actually not from when. There are some from when Tenebris was with you. There are some from before. So the first one that you sort of get is in a completely red, fiery lava landscape, metal cities in the background, and just rows and rows of fire ganassi, just flaming, like launching fire towards. Again, as you look the other way, thousands of these creatures just sort of, and you can see the differences. You're looking that like there is slight differences as you're looking at the fire ganassi that seem to have been corrupted. When they're struck with, when they're struck with weapons, they're like blood that expels off them is like molten lava. Which you haven't seen with these ones that were like humanoid, like the humanoids that have been changed. But also you're noting that as they're hitting the fire, a lot of the people, so it's almost like the second flash you get is they're now in teams and you've got 2 or 3 of them flaming them. And as they go down, you're seeing the bodies aren't covered in rashes anymore. And then 2 more run in, grab the bodies and pull them out and start tending them and like taking them away. And they're almost like clearing houses. You know what I mean? They're like, stack up, get ready, kick the door, flames in, flames in. Give me, I'm going to say an intelligence as you see the second one.
Oh. 15. That's with a +6. My rolls have been
Um,
pretty naff so far. I'm not. This isn't a good start for me.
So both times when the bodies fell down, the rashes were gone. So in the first one, when they hit them with the fire, the rashes were gone, but they seemed dead and they weren't going to get the bodies. In the second one, so you whisper in the second. That's the difference that you notice from that. As you flick back in and you don't have any more time to think, because this thing is barreling down on you. What would you like to do with your action and your move?
Well, so I currently do not have my right activated on me.
Yeah, remember you do, because when you transform, it activates.
No, it doesn't.
I thought we looked at this.
No, no,
you can
I
activate
asked.
it as many times as you want.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, but I didn't actually activate it again.
Okay, right. You haven't activated it yet, right? Okay.
So, and thinking of it, Volu is spellcaster predominantly. Ichi is having a time of his life, and it's only
Hopefully winning you the race.
Eleni's the only one who's kind of really be using it, but as now I've just used my bonus, there's no point in me trying to activate it now. So I am going to have, what is that distance? 35 feet. I am going to move back 10 feet, I think that is, can actually see. And I'm going to hold an action to attack an enemy as soon as that gets close to me, because I don't think there's really much more that I can actually do at this. Oh, actually, no, why not? I'm going to have a longbow and shoot this guy that's running towards me. Actually, wait, no, I'm not. Can I retake? Actually, no. Sorry. I was 150 feet away, wasn't I? From that thing originally.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I can just do a longbow shot of it then.
Okay. There's nothing on this one, is there?
Actually, we said like, wait, I could pick up a longbow from the thing, so that has my right on it, doesn't it?
If you took Ichi's, which I think, which I'd be accepted. If you just grabbed one, the one you bought for Ichi, because yours wasn't out when you activated the right.
Did we say I did that or not? I honestly can't remember.
I'm fine with it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, then I'm going to shoot a flaming arrow at Big Boy of Goose. And for a minute, I thought that was a 1. It's 13 plus 8, 21.
Yeah, definitely hits. Your arrow soars through the air, striking dead into the center.
Okay. So normal damage is, oh, that's nice. That's full damage, 13 points of damage, and the Crimson Right, we did say it's a D6, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Is a further 3 points of damage.
Okay, so does your Crimson Right make the weapon magical, or is it just the extra damage?
Please bear with me for a moment.
Yes, no worries.
As a bonus action, you can activate any right you know on a weapon you are holding. Your weapon can hold can only hold one active right at a time. When activated, take damage. When the right is active, attacks made with this weapon are magical, dealing an additional D6 damage of the chosen type.
Okay, so the arrows fully sinks in, so that was 13 and 3, so 16 in total.
Yep.
And so you notice that the arrow sinks into the actual gemstone of the creature, and it roars up, but as it does, the flames around it completely, like, almost immediately turn the gooey liquidy bits of it to ash. Just like...
Oh, then I'm going to do my second attack. So I think I've got 2 attacks, don't I? Yeah, attacks per, 2 attacks per round. Yeah, it's 22.
Nice, definitely hits.
So, just rolled another 8. So that's another 13 points of damage and another 3 points of light fire.
So 16 again.
Yeah. So I'm okay with doing damage like that. Very happy with that.
Okay, and again, second arrow sinks in, and again, a larger section melts away. As you're seeing the actual liquidy stuff melt away, the crystal is still there and solid, right? The arrows are definitely stuck into it. Give me another perception as some of the crystals clear away.
Very kind not using my passive. It doesn't matter. 3.
Okay, no worries. Anything else?
Yeah. I'm going to. So, can I have just said that I wouldn't have actually moved before shooting because so cool. So that's 5 feet away, 5 feet away, 10, 15, 20. Actually, yeah, no, I'm going to keep 20. But I'm going to duck and use this car as partial cover. Why not use a thing that's probably very explosive and is showing? Oh, that is right. Isn't this thing got like covered with like dynamite, or like gas and oil in that coming out of it?
This one's very close to explosion.
Okay, cool. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move like that and duck behind some rocks as cover for that. If you
Okay.
will.
Okay, hey Lenny.
Isn't it Ichi simultaneous with Dante?
No, that was during the race. Remember,
Okay.
You are bottom of the initiative, unfortunately, for
Cool.
the fight.
Sorry, Ichi.
Do not worry. I'm just chilling.
You still got your
like.
music on. Right, so I was ducked down with Tabitha, who was definitely injured and had been infected by this horrible stuff.
She did have a bit of a rash on her.
She did have a bit of a rash on her, but I also saw that when I hit that guy with fire, it seemed to clear that temporarily. If Chris has dropped the Crimson Right, does that mean that my...
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay, so my arrows are still fiery.
Well, they're fiery when you put them in the longbow.
Okay.
They have to be shot from the longbow to really like.
Yeah.
And I'll let you think around that, but they light up when they hit, if that makes sense.
Okay. First of all, I'm going to say to Tabitha, look, they've infected you. If you don't do something about this, you're going to turn into one of those things. Have you got anything that can burn this out? Like fire, magic, something? I think she goes straight after me, doesn't she?
She does, but also like I did we try that last time?
No, we didn't.
She hasn't.
I thought about it. She'd slumped down and was saying she wasn't feeling very well.
Didn't someone say about a fire breath?
Okay. Anything else from you? Because obviously you're.
So if that's just my free interaction, that's okay. I am going to. I'm gonna shoot at the dude that's running towards us, the zombie guy. So yeah, I'm gonna take my first shot at him.
Okay.
So
And Dante, as you ran back past these, you would notice that all these bodies, they're burned because they were in the explosiony bit, but they're still pustuled and morphed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm assuming that first one missed, Liam. 11.
11, it does is it just sort of twitches and over its shoulder.
So the second one's a dirty 20.
20, however, definitely hits.
Okay, so that's 8 normal piercing. It's a 6, isn't D6, isn't it, for the extra fire, which is just 1 point of fire damage. But I'm going to send my swarm as well to do extra damage to him. if I can find out how much. Hang on a sec. 1d6 piercing.
No worries.
So he takes another 3 piercing as well.
So what's that in total, sorry?
So that was all together. That is 12 damage. 11 piercing and 1 fire.
Okay, as the arrow thunks into the side, almost completely knocking them over, they slump to the ground and slowly get back up. They are not looking good. Where the flames hit, the pustules do burn, burn away. And again, Dante, you would see almost like it did on the golem. They just sort of to ash and burn away. But also the skin underneath is burning and blistering, and the arrow is definitely in them. And almost for a second, there's that like cry of like, ah, what the fuck, of the actual person before again they like snap back up.
I'm then going to use my last bonus action, hidden step, to go invisible.
Okay.
And I want to turn to Tabitha just as I'm going to invisible. I want to turn to Tabitha and say, burn it out now. I'm going to go invisible and then I'm going to step away, but almost just come to hear Liam. So I'm seeing her, but she doesn't know where I am. Okay. I'm a little bit worried that she's going to turn into one of these zombie things while I'm sat next to her.
Okay, I mean, give me a persuasion. I'm gonna say, are you going persuasion or intimidation? That's up to you. But
I'd rather go persuasion, if that's okay.
Yeah. It's but yeah, give me a persuasion because you are asking.
No,
that was perception.
crap.
If you,
sorry, hang on then. That was perception. Oh, so actually, there's no difference, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
In which case, I'm going to go intimidation, so it doesn't make any difference. It's a +1, and I still rolled crap. So for some reason, it's rolling twice, and I don't know why.
I don't know either. You move away. They're just like looking. What the fuck? They're gonna pull. You see, they pull a potion out of their belt, and they're like holding it. Piece of shit, fucking dick, fucking. And they like hold their hand out. I don't know what's the like lightest fire they can do. Fireball. Yeah, but also she's high enough level that it's
double dice.
Yeah.
I've seen her do lots of fire stuff. I don't really have any fire magic of my own.
No, screw it. We're in the land of magic. I'm not going to tie it to spells in this case. She lights up Firebolt and like holds the like circle ball of hot fire in the hand, and then slowly puts it closer to the thing, and and she's like looking like nothing's happening. It's just blistering and burning, and then she's like fuck, and with bonus action drinks the potion. It didn't fucking work. It didn't do anything. That fucking hurt. And again, as you look, as they heal, the wound heals, but the pustules and the rash is still there.
So the firebolt didn't work?
No.
But I did see the other guy get healed when he was hit with fire magic.
Do you want to do me an intelligence?
Yeah, please. I'm trying to remember as well from what we said last time. Just straight intelligence. 20.
It's the 15, but it's still good enough. It's the first one.
Sorry.
I don't know why it's rolling.
That's rolled 3 times, Liam,
yeah,
and I don't know why.
So, so as you're thinking about it, the guy that got cured, or not cured, but sort of like burned away the infection.
Yeah.
That was when you hit him with an arrow.
Right. Okay.
And in terms of it wasn't a spell.
Right. Okay.
With only a 15, I'll leave you there. But think about the source of that. Tabitha is gonna shout once again, like, "Are we staying and fighting, or are we fucking going? I don't know if I can climb that fucking cliff."
Dante will just lean back, and in this.
Yeah, holy fucking shit.
Fighting.
As he speaks, flames also kind of come out his mouth.
Okay. She's gonna turn over again. She seems pretty weak, but she sort of maneuvers herself so that she's in the same position but behind some good cover, and just sort of gets ready with like her arm out, ready to fire some stuff out. After which Volu. And Volu, as you're looking for a second, there is the flash, and the hand that you saw the first time in your vision was definitely Dante's. The hand that you saw in your other visions was almost the red color of this body. It didn't have the claws and like battle ready, but it was the red color of it was the same skin color as what you're seeing Dante as now.
Okay.
What would you like to do? And to be clear, as you're looking, Volu, as you take a look up the actual where the way is broken, it does seem like there is a way up. Like you are looking, you could climb it. It's not impossible. It is just a climb. Essentially, you get 50 foot, 100 foot up. There's then 30 foot of that next bit, and the last 20 foot is missing. But as you're looking as well, the corners are they're stable rock, right? If you imagine that they almost earth shaped the cliffside out to give them platforms for the turns, and then the middle section is just like create because it just needed to be a surface. So the next whole 50-foot section is gone, but there's the turning points, if that makes sense, at this end and this end.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next 50 foot is gone, but there's still the turning points at this end and this end. The road then continues after that as it did. So it isn't impossible, but obviously I'm just informing on foot, so for full planning.
Yeah, that sounds like stairs, and Volu doesn't do stairs, so he's gonna move a little bit forward. Can I move that far forward?
On your tombstone, died because of a hatred of stairs. Yeah, you can go 25. I will say, as you get to like one back from that, you would notice as well this vehicle like spewing oil, and it's like not exploding, but it doesn't look like it's a good place to stand. I'll say that you would have noticed that one square back, and then you can maybe Dante put a hand on your shoulder.
I need to. Yeah, that's. I actually need to be this far away to even.
I don't think Dante would have done in this form. Sorry.
No, but to be fair, that's as close as I need to be to get a hit off, so that's fine. And then this was the one that Eleni hit, right?
Yeah,
This
I
fella
hit the guy in the middle.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cast Toll the Dead that way.
Okay.
That thing. So he needs to make a whiz save.
Okay. And is it necrotic damage?
Yes.
Okay, so they failed the save as the bell rings out, but it just washes over them. They just don't even hear it. And again, you know that's not that they didn't hear it, so you can obviously work out from that like there's something about the spell they're not affected by.
Yeah.
But yeah, you learn when you nobody uses, you don't use necrotic that often. It doesn't. I didn't think it was actually going to come up.
No, I was weighing it up, and I've got my main two are radiant and necrotic at the moment. So
Yeah, that's all good.
I'm like radiant's not going to do much.
Any bonus from yourself?
I'm going to hold an action, but other than that, yeah.
It isn't told the dead an action.
Yeah, you've
Oh
already
shit!
used your
Yeah, it
action.
is. Yeah. Never mind.
No worries. Nothing
I'm
in the
not going to do
bonus
it.
then?
I'm not. No, nothing of. No.
Okay, no worries. Okay, to Ichi. So as you pull up, there are people left and right going like, "What do you mean? What do you mean they're being attacked?" Again, a lot of the crowd, but like that aren't immediately around you, are now looking up the track and hearing it seems like the vehicle has it has 4 or 5, maybe even 6 people on the back of it. What is going on? And they're like, people are starting to look that way, but the immediate around you and Ichi, before you actually like pull to set off, are you planning to go forwards or are you turning to go back?
I'm planning on dismounting and getting on my elk because it's faster.
Okay, so as you start to jump off, a figure bursts from the crowd, and you notice Moonshadow Jr. You would notice an immediate like look of like actual worry as he like just grabs you by the like breastplate. It's like, is Tabitha down there or is she on that vehicle?
Tabitha, last I saw was down there. If you need to get to and I'll like pull my arm down, like get on.
I can't take the elk, but I can take us quickly that way.
Yes, into the cave.
Okay, and they and they dimension door, so they don't they can't go into the cave because it's 500
But they can at
foot,
least get us closer.
but they get you to the top of the invisible road. So as you like appear, you're standing on like the last section of the invisible road and looking down. There's now the vehicle heading down, laden with people.
We did win, didn't we?
I was just going to ask that. We did. We crossed.
I crossed the finish line.
That's fine.
And this is it.
That happened last session.
Most of the crowd does not know what's going on. They heard the wind. They're all celebrating. Another vehicle's coming in. Like, what's Dante like? And especially as you haven't ridden away, you've just dismounted and then disappeared. He will, as you appear, say, "I can do that again, but that will tap me for my more powerful spells."
I don't know what's down there. There was explosions and shots from firearms. I feel like it would be better to save perhaps a bigger one for whatever's down there.
Go. Well, let's go then. He will say he will have a. You would notice he doesn't ask you to like for assistance seeing. He didn't seem to cast anything that you saw, but he does seem to be able to see the path. And you will see he then uses his movement as you can. We're on your turn essentially. You can use your movement to sort of jump and get into the cave. As you sort of land and look down, you see the scene unfolding in front of you. You've got the crystal golem. At this distance, it just looks like a glowing purple 15, 16 foot creature, right? It's hard to tell because you're still a good 600 plus away from this.
For my movement, Ichi is going to be bold and brash when they jump, kind of like, because it's still kind of like that snowy slope going down, right? It's just
you're going
crumbled.
up you're sorry, no, so this is this the left and
zigzag.
Right, yeah.
So are we at the top and now need to go down to the bottom?
Yeah.
So Ichi kind of like uses that bit of movement to do that run, jump. The shield smacks into their feet, and I'm going to use my what's it called? My entangling growth to basically turn my shield into a snowboard for me. I am attaching that to my feet, and I am using gravity to my advantage here.
Hell
you
yeah.
are still, I believe, Volu, have you done anything to lose the concentration on the...
That's Grace, yes, we lost that.
Okay,
Yeah.
no worries.
When the wall of
wind wall
came up. Yeah.
So, I like it very much. I believe you
I'm
already
very
have
aware I'm not
inspiration,
dexterous.
or I would give it to you.
I don't have inspiration. I used that.
When did you use it?
Yeah, you did.
I had it.
Got inspiration.
I can't remember why I used it. I remember getting it. and I can't remember why.
Well,
Yeah,
I've
well, then
got it
wait-
anyways now.
Well, then
so-
you just got inspiration.
Boom.
But now let's let's see how this goes because it might go badly. As I do
Hey.
need,
EG feels cool, and then
I do need an acrobatics from you.
of course, let's go. I'm gonna use my inspiration. Better. I forget I have a minus. 17. 17's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, going from a 2 with a -1 to a unnatural 1 to a rolling an 18 with a -1.
Okay, so you land, and the first, I'm gonna, even with the 17, the first section, you're just like holding on. It goes, obviously, you've got the sections where it's like it flattens out, right? So you're like, or you're jumping them a little bit, and then it's like, I'll say that with that first bit, you go 100 foot down.
Mhm.
Okay, you are skating down successfully. I am going to need successive checks. And as you're running and jumping, like Moonshadow Junior's arriving and goes, what are you doing?
As I hear the "what are you doing?" Ichi just begins cruising down, screaming backwards. I don't.
And anything with your action and bonus action, because you are.
That was my action to do the entangling growth
Okay,
to hopefully just aid. And yeah, no, nothing for bonus action. I'm cruising. I'm trying not to eat snow.
Okay.
It's not snow, is it? It's just rocks.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not snow.
Oh no, it's not, is it? It's just yeah.
Yeah, obviously the outside peaky
Oh,
bits
I'm gonna
are-
need a new shield after this.
Well, luckily, it's almost like I'm imagining it's the wood sprouted out of the shield. So at the moment, the entangling growth is like grinding down.
Yeah.
We'll see how you come out of it.
If I die from fall damage from this,
What a way to
could
come
you
back
imagine?
into
Everyone
the fight.
turns around and is like, "Where's Ichi?" And Ichi's corpse just slides in.
Okay, so
Oh yeah, I don't have inspo because I saved me and Eleni. I just remembered that because we almost fell to our deaths.
you did. Okay, so again, this creature is just gonna bust forwards as far as it can go, and raises an arm. Eleni's invisible, so again, even though Eleni is the one, so he got hit by obviously Dante's arrows,
And I moved
then
as well, Liam. I shot and then went
yeah.
invisible and moved.
So this is it. So they're gonna raise the arm in that sort of direction, but then just with Dante, the only sort of target there. Again, firing off. Let me
I've
just
got-
see if-
Do I have any cover, like half cover or
You
quarter?
do have cover, and they are at disadvantage range, so it's not. Okay, so you see that it literally like splatters on the rock cover in front of you. And again, interestingly, because it's not solid when it hits, it turns to like almost like ooblex. It's solid for a second, but then liquid. It dints the rocks, but it doesn't like punch through them. It's not got like, it doesn't have piercing force, if that makes sense. But again, there's this sizzling, burning on the other side of the stalagmites that are stalactites that are stalagmites that are that are in front of you. After which this guy. So this guy.
The mighty rise.
Okay, so he's gonna rush in, and rushing in towards Volu. The corrupted driver of the
What
desert
weapon
hopper.
did Volo have out on the car? Because he will have Crimson right on something. I just don't know what his weapon
His
was.
crossbow.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and it's gonna come straight in and It's going to try and grab hold of you, Bolu. As you see, it's not like swiping, it's very like deliberately trying to like touch its hands to you. And a 16 to hit.
Yeah. Meet to beat.
Okay, so you take 2 points of necrotic damage as you feel the searing pain. There's almost like you put your hand in a stinging nettle bush or something like that level. And as they take the hand away, you've got this purplish rash growing on your skin before it immediately shrinks away and dies off.
Okay. 2 points, did you say?
2 points. After which, Dante.
I see the one guy kind of just hit at Volu. Did I see the rash appear and disappear?
I'm gonna say no. It was two like it's
That's
two on their front, if that makes
Cool.
sense.
Then Dante is going to move out of said cover. 1, 2, and yeah, that's it. Easy in the range. Gonna shoot the dude again, the big dude.
Okay.
Rolled a 10. It's plus an 8, so 18.
Okay, so you see that one, as it's soaring towards them, it just clatters off the natural armor of the golem.
Cool. Then I will do a second attack at it. That was a natural 17, so 25.
Yes, definitely hits.
Damage, normal side of damage is, wow. I've rolled another 8.
Nice.
So that's another 8 plus 5, so that's 13 again, and 6 on the other dice.
No, it's 18 points.
19.
13 and 6.
Plus
Sorry,
6.
Yeah, my bad.
Maths teacher over
60. Okay. Okay. Can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please? As the arrow hits again, it pierces into the crystal. It's the actual full chest plate that was covered in this goo, pustules and infection. The infection burns away, and all of a sudden, clearly now, you can see, and at this distance, everyone can make me a perception, except Dichi, sorry. But you could to pick out what it is, but you can see that something is glowing brightly on its chest.
So my perception is a 7.
I got a
And
20.
I don't
15.
suppose I have any kind of advantage on the whiz save at all.
No.
Then it's 7.
Okay, so Eleni and Volu, you both recognize that all of the sigils. So when it had emerged, it had weird scribings and scratchings on it that you couldn't really see at this distance. They were kind of dulled. They're glowing bright blue, very, very opposing to the purpley red color that was infecting over. And as the infection burned away, this bright burn comes through. And what was your wisdom save?
7.
Okay, so you take 8 psychic damage and are frightened if you are able to be frightened.
I think I probably am. I will have to look at that.
As you feel almost like, and Dante, for you, you don't see this at all, but this feels like Ichi's ward.
Oh, great.
When in that same sort of, it feels all of a sudden like Ichi's just done that Abjura's ward. I can't remember what it's actually called. Watchers
Abjure the extraplanar.
Abjure the extraplanar. When it felt very similar, as all of a sudden every fiber of your being is screaming run.
Yeah, I don't.
But to be
really-
clear, it's not compelling you to move away, but it is frightened condition, so everything that implies, and obviously the psychic damage.
So I need to remember what frightened means. So a frightened creature
can
has
just apply it.
disadvantage on
Can't go
ability
closer.
checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
Um,
Well, that's kind of annoying.
anything else from Dante? That was your second attack. Any bonus?
Yeah, because to be fair, I forgot as I was going through these things, I forgot I could do this. So I've moved 15 feet, did I?
Yeah.
10 up that way. As I kind of like float out, like kind of just glide over to Volu in my big fiery thing, I just go and be just like, and you get away, and just gotta do that and blow hot steam into this thing's eyes, pushing it back, no, pushing it on the floor. I think.
Okay, so are you knocking it prone or knocking it back?
I am.
With only an 8 on the save, it definitely fails.
Yeah, toward away.
As this hot steam just for
away,
everyone looking,
wait
it's
a minute.
almost like you when a geyser just erupted from Dante's location away. How far?
It's only 5 feet. It's not.
Okay, okay.
And then with my last 5 feet of movement, I'm just going to go and try to get cover behind whatever this stalagmite is.
Okay, Eleni.
Okay. So I become visible again.
Yep.
I would sort of glance at Tabitha and be very frustrated that I'm assuming she still looks infected.
And it looks like it's growing.
Okay. Oh, geez. Okay. I haven't got time to deal with her. I'm going to come 5, 10, 15, 20.
I will say as well on your
30.
nat 20 perception.
Yeah.
So where you guys are like in the middle of the. You guys are like almost slap bang in the middle of this section of the race.
Yeah.
At this end,
At which end,
you
Liam?
can
Sorry, I'm
sorry, the far where you were entered originally.
Yeah.
So if you
Far left.
that far left, there are lights appearing at the cavern entrance.
Okay. Okay, I would have moved 30 forward to put me in range of that guy. The zombie bloke, how's he looking?
Heavily injured.
Okay. I am going to shoot zombie guy first.
Okay.
17.
Easy hit, and not feel free to damage, but you don't even need to, as it just straight thunks them in the chest. You notice as it punches them back, they do like they're like and their head rolls back. The fire spreads across the infection and burns it away. And as they land, they are the normal corpse of the driver with no signs of infection, but with an arrow sticking out of their chest.
Can I tell if it's the fire that am I thinking it's the fire that's from Dante rather than that's the only fire that's on there now, isn't it? Because I'm not lighting them on fire.
Yep.
Okay, so Dante's fire seems to work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Volu again. So actually, what I'll say, because we're here and because we're in a moment to do something about it potentially, that damage wasn't enough to kill outright. So Volu, I'll say only you notice this, and maybe Eleni, but you're at a bit of a distance and it's hard because you just thumped him with an arrow. But Volu, as the cleric with medicine knowledge, as he hits the ground, he is still like bleeding out unconscious.
Who's that? Sorry, Liam.
The one you just shot.
Okay, so he's unconscious, not dead.
Because we're normally an NPC would just die outright here, but you didn't actually
Yeah.
do enough damage there to kill them
Okay.
outright. So what I'm
Cool.
gonna say is Volu, with the medical knowledge and being 5 foot away from the guy, can see that person is savable.
Okay. Can I see that he's? I mean, from where I am, can I see that he's not got
It's-
damage on him now? That he's not infected?
I'd say that you saw the infection burn off,
Okay.
but you don't see. He sort of like fell and turned
Oh.
away from you, so you can't tell that he's. He just looks down.
I am. Oh God. I'm gonna turn back to Tabitha. How injured does Tabitha look?
She doesn't look great. She doesn't look as bad as that guy, but she's like looking at you a little bit like, what the fuck?
What would happen if, when I draw the arrow and it's got the fire on it, what happens if I take hold of the arrow at that point?
I'd say you get about 6 seconds, maybe 6 to 10 seconds of fire before it
So a turn.
releases off that ammunition.
So a
Yeah,
turn.
yeah. Because think about it; it has to be on fire for as long as you release the bow and it hits the target, right? Which is essentially in your turn. So I would say that you can have it on fire for a turn.
Okay, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna say to Tabitha, I am so sorry, but I don't want you turning into a zombie. And I'm gonna shoot her in the leg. And I know that that's flavor, Liam, and I know that it's ranged, so I can't.
I love this idea of kind of just being like I don't want to turn you into a zombie, so I'm just going to kill you beforehand.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want
That
to
is a
kill
little.
her, but
No,
also.
I know, but that's a little bit what it looks like.
No, I know.
I can't let you turn. Tell her that. I just can't let you turn.
But I'm hitting her in the leg, right? And
I know,
that.
and what I will say, I will do the same mechanics as we've been doing, where you can roll twice to target a location.
Thank
So
you.
if you hit once, you'll hit her anywhere. If you roll twice, you will hit her in the leg. But you are still gonna have to do your damage,
Oh no. Oh
and you're still
God.
gonna have to roll to hit. Because I'm not gonna lie, as you
I've got no
roll,
movement
and
left. That's the.
no, I know, and
Hang on. Hang on. Damn, that's afterwards. Shit.
yeah, you think it's efforts.
Yeah. But oh, so I can't retcon it, can I? And have cast Zephyr Strike
No.
before. Damn. You mean?
I mean, if like the shot, it's valid. It's valid if you want to do the shot, or you can also wait and see if she lasts another turn.
I really
am a
hate you
bastard.
sometimes, Liam.
I know. It's when I'm being a cunt.
All right, 6 more seconds. If she turns into a zombie, I'm gonna have to put her down anyway. I'm gonna
Okay, is
shoot
there a
this.
moment where you like hesitate in her direction?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna look at her, and then I'm gonna swivel, and I'm gonna shoot the big guy instead.
Okay.
And watch me miss now. Yeah. 20.
20 hits.
So that's 10 piercing,
Okay.
and 5 fire from Dante's fire thingy.
Okay, and again, a second a stab into it, another section of the pustule, and again, as you almost hit it in the shoulder, and it was where it was like the right side of its body, and its entire right arm was like this liquidy, oozy. As you hit into its shoulder, it like solidifies and turns back into the crystal. As you're looking now, the side of it that isn't covered, so its whole left side.
Yeah.
It's almost like the same blue as the Zikar crystals.
Okay. I'm also going to use my swarm. I'm going to use my swarm to move me 5 feet.
Okay.
And I'm going to move 5 feet towards Tabitha.
Okay. Anything else?
That's me, I think. Go on.
Okay, so Tabitha, a little bit shaken up, like, fuck, I don't know what you were doing there, is going to, like, look back to the creature and just, what distance are we right now? She's going to hold. You see her lights up firebolt.
Mhm.
But she's gonna hold for it to step in. So we get to Volu.
So I see the guy on the floor here.
He's dead now.
Nope.
Oh, he's not?
Unconscious.
Well, you don't know this.
Oh.
You saw arrow hit, that guy's dead, and looked back that way. Volu has noticed that he is essentially bleeding out.
But he's not. He's not on 0 hit points yet.
He's
No,
on
he doesn't know
0,
it.
but he's making death saves in the same way that you guys would.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to him and do spare the dying.
Okay, you move forwards, touch a hand on them with spare the dying, and as you do, you touch a hand on them. There is no sign of the corruption. The rashes are gone, the pustules are gone. Besides that, if you found this guy like without having seen everything, you would be like, he was shot by an arrow. Like that would just look like the only wound he really had. Obviously, he's still got the old wounds from the driving accidents and generally the fight, but there's no signs of the infection. And you do. I'm gonna say that I'll let you just pull the arrow out so you sort of pull the arrow out and
I almost one hand yank it out and then cast.
Yeah, and then spare the dying, and you do manage. They just close their eyes and start breathing heavily, unconscious.
I'll turn round to Eleni and then do a telepathy note going, he's stable and unconscious. There's nothing, there's no purple.
I can't answer that, can I?
No.
Okay. I'll sort of nod at you. I got the message.
Oh, okay. Anything else, Wolu? You've got bonus left. I think spare the dying is action. I think you've still got a bunch of movement. It would have taken 5 foot to step forward, 5 foot to step back if you wanted.
How far away do I need to be from this bloke? I'm gonna try and get some cover. Just there and be a little bit more in the middle of things.
Liam, first 2 questions, and it's absolutely fine if Dante doesn't know this.
Mhm.
Is this thing a construct, and does Dante know if it is a construct or not?
Give me an arcana.
12.
So before it was really hard to tell. The more and more the corruption clears, the more it looks like a construct.
And constructs, they're, I mean,
And as you're looking over this, so if you imagine on its chest, on its left arm, and you're seeing now the very, very top glow on its right arm are almost like if you imagine Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber color glow out of each. There's a distinct sigil, but as you're looking just off your previous perceptions, you're not able to make out what the sigil is.
No, that's cool. I was more thinking they can't be blinded, can they? Constructs.
As far as you know, they can't be. So I will say, what did you get on your arcana?
12, I think.
So yes, you did. I remember. So you would know that generally constructs can't be poisoned, immune to psychic, can't be charmed, exhausted, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, or poisoned.
Oh, so they can be blinded.
So I think blinded depends on the sensory given to them, but when they're enchanted, right? Like if they're enchanted with a true sight thing, then no. If they're enchanted with tremor sense, then no. But if they're enchanted to see,
Okay.
yeah. Apparently, it doesn't say they can't be blinded.
I didn't know that.
I will check that.
It's not it's not a major thing in the next kind of 2 rounds, I'd say, but it might be something that could be helpful I'm more just looking at some of my stuff.
But yeah, anyway, you are no Volo. Anything else?
I moved over to get some cover. And that was it.
Okay, and we are back to Ichi. So, Ichi, as we get into, as you like off the next section, can I get another acrobatics, please?
Oh,
We move on. I rolled a
Oh,
unnatural 1.
oh,
You know how previously I rolled a 2 -1 to the, but I was like, inspiration, and yeah, it was like, nah, you're gonna have that unnatural
yeah,
1.
it wanted you to have
It's because you don't call it its proper name.
a dirty one.
A dirty one. It's a dirty one. It's a filthy one.
Okay, so yeah, so it's hard going, and
I love
luckily,
that even you're like, I don't want to describe this.
luckily for you, Ichi, it's almost more. So if you imagine this is going like, because you're riding the up and down rampy
Where
that
it's all
way, so
kind
you're
of
going like
collapsed onto
out,
itself.
down, out, down, out, down. You're doing like this like staircase sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you've been pulling up as you hit the flats, right? To sort of, and this time you forget, you're going a bit quick. The front of your shield digs the ground, and you just face plant. You do take,
Oh dear, that's a lot of momentum.
so you do take 15 points of damage. And roll,
Ooh.
luckily for you though, this is where it sort of saves you. These sections of road are 40 foot wide. So you do continue to roll a good 15, 20 feet, but you're just still on the road. Shields dug in over there. You are about 150 foot down.
I like that the wizard's just like above me, probably just about to walk past me, like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, he's looking at you like I should probably dimension door.
As Ichi's like the wind's been knocked out of them, they are just like
Yeah, so I was still, you sort of like, you've still got movement and stuff if you want to like, you're like breathing deep.
yeah, try like brings themselves very shakily back to their feet, has that moment of just like, oh really, like it hurts to catch their breath, but will then kind of start with a limp jog and try and get back going.
Okay, yeah, you can keep on moving. Give me a survival as you're now sort of running the track on foot.
Can I stop rolling 2s? Damn, that's
Yeah,
an 8 total.
Okay, so you're still sort of wheezing state. You're just sort of following the track down as best you can. You get another
3
30 foot.
2s.
Yeah. So with a movement and action, you'll get another 60. So you manage to
Beautiful.
get another 100. You're about a third of the way there. Maybe about halfway, coming up to about the halfway point.
Beautiful. At this point, Ichi's just really reminiscing the feeling of being on their elk. I miss my buddy.
Yeah, unfortunate. You see, what else can we do? Can we do something that isn't? No,
So,
they don't.
question,
Well,
Liam.
yeah.
Now that I'm moving, like I'm walking, am I having to slightly do more of a zigzag?
Yeah. And this is where that survival was coming in a little bit to sort of see if where the cut downs that you can take that are not like completely horrendously covered in stalagmites.
Okay, can I counter that? Ichi's just going to start burrowing. I'm slower at it, but if I use my action to double movement borrow, then it's at least 40 feet of just straight line rather than 60 feet doing weird
just sort
zigzags.
of digging a hole through the stalagmites.
Yeah, Kind of like,
Yeah,
at least
yeah,
then
yeah.
that causes a straighter path for the wizard to follow up behind rather than them also having to worry about that, and also possibly an exit route for people.
Yeah, make a straight up ramp. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Thank you. Sorry to rewind
No,
a little
no,
bit.
no, no, that's all good. Let me. Okay, they are going to cast Expeditious Retreat on themselves
Show off.
so that they can bonus action dash and just start like running down. So they're going to follow the main path for the initial bit, but when they get to where you're burrowing them a path, they'll join onto it.
Mhm.
They are, however, also going to cast Thaumaturgy with their, and they're going to be like, Tabitha, are you okay? And you guys all hear from the top of this, like echoing down the cavern, like, Tabitha, are you okay? Come towards the exit. You see, Tabitha's looking at you, you roll eyes, moron. I would say you probably can't see them where they are at this distance, but you would hear that echo down the.
I mean, you'd be able to see the big beacon of light, which is me.
No, I mean you guys can't see where they coming down the ramps are, if that makes sense. Just because it's 400.
I'm curious to know what's going through Ichi's head, because from that distance, he probably just sees some sort of fiery elemental thing.
At this point, Ichi's only sees about 20 feet in front of them. Their vision's still hazy from just eating dirt, mate.
I mean,
We'll deal with that when I see it. Fair, touche.
Okay. Yes. So after which we have top of the round. So very, very top of the round. Can everybody give me a strength save, please? As again, once again, the earth is rumbling and shaking. There are bits of crumbling down from the surface. And Chris, as you saved, can you do me a D100? Under
I mean, I'm
20.
keeping it safe. I got an 18.
Yeah, under 20 is bad.
I'm
Under
guessing
20 is
Ichi
bad.
yes as well now. I'm coming
On a
down.
D100, as in
Oh.
on the D100. Yes, now you Ichi, now that you're in the cavern.
Ooh, 23.
That's
Okay,
25.
Just. So, Ichi, as you are digging down, you're seeing bits of the ceiling just miss more sections of this path, just down or crumbling just off the side, just very close to destroying more of the bridge. Anybody under a 16, you are rocked by the shaking and you fall prone.
I'm just
Each of you
gliding,
taking 2 points of damage.
2 points.
As
Liam, is that 2 points of damage from falling prone as well?
yes.
Okay.
As we come to the top of the round, they are going to 10, 20, 30.
Oh boy.
Pushing forwards as it's getting closer. Anyone who's proficient can make me a religion check. Ichi, you are too far away still. Sorry, bud.
I was going to say, I'm not proficient in religion.
I am. Doesn't matter. 9.
12.
Elaine,
This is
not
meant to be my
proficient or not?
thing.
Yeah, I got +5 on that.
To be fair, no, actually, a
Oh,
little
hang on,
bit
do I
makes
get
sense for you,
advantage?
though. Is what are your advantage things again? Eleni, are you proficient in religion?
Nope.
Okay.
Really need to stop asking these questions before I end up finding out. Features and traits. So be in a hunter's bane. Fey, fiends, undead. Yeah, so yeah, I have advantage on wisdom survival checks to track fey fiends or undead, and you have advantage on intelligence checks of recall.
Doesn't apply here. Sorry.
Ooh.
Okay, so Volu, you don't recognize the other symbols around it, but it's definitely religious. It's definitely cleric divine magic rather than arcane magic. And the symbol on its chest and on its left arm and right arm are they are other things. So it isn't just a spell, but it is some sort of like protection against the planar. That's sort of what's like tied in there. But you don't recognize the other sigils that would give you a simp who would tell you which god it is.
Okay.
As it gets up to that point, it's going to raise an arm now at a Lenny, as you have you did do a good chunk of actually again. So you would see that the red pustulely like squirming section of it points directly at a Lenny.
Isn't Eleni invisible?
No, not
this
now.
turn.
That dropped.
And however, the golem is like fixed on Dante. And there's almost like a moment of like grinding deliberation before it fires on Eleni.
Just out of curiosity, is there a way to become unfrightened? Is it like the end of every save, or do I have to just wait till this fight is over?
So how does it work with your thing, Ichi? Is it end of every turn, or is it?
I don't believe so. I believe it's just kind of like one and done. Let me double check.
Eleni, a 19 to hit you.
That hits.
Okay, so again, sorry, good one.
So if it is Abjure the extraplanar, they're not just frightened. They're
so that they don't. It's not the exact thing, but it works in the same way that.
But yeah, they are frightened for 1 minute or until they take damage.
Okay.
So if Dante takes any damage, they're like from full
and
damage or whatever.
Is taking a damage out of it, or is it a save again?
The creature is frightened for 1 minute or until it takes damage. So if a single point of damage comes through, it snaps them out.
That's fine. But yeah, so Eleni, again, it's almost like a solid spike that upon impact with you turns into like ooblexy liquid and punches into you. So 6 points of damage.
Okay.
The second it hits you, first of all, you feel the sting on your skin, and then your swarm starts to scream. And any of your swarm that touch it disintegrate.
Shit.
And again, as it's burning against you, can you con save as well, please? You have advantage.
Okay, that's a 10. Well,
yeah,
12.
It's
a 12. A 12. Okay. So again, as you wipe it away, it's burning and stinging on your hands, and you start to see that the red sort of pustules, but glowing and going up in your arms.
Shit.
And then all of a sudden, your veins glow this like silvery ethereal, and it clears. You were saved by the advantage there, if that makes sense. So that was good. Like your body was not fighting it, and you don't. And I'll be clear, Eleni doesn't know why she has advantage. So she felt her body like starting to close up and sting, and then something soothed it, and your like veins glowed silvery for a second.
Okay.
That is it. As there are no more corrupted, we then come to Dante.
Is he in range of Tabitha's held action?
Sorry, yes, thank you. Tabitha does. And with a dirty 20 to hit, you see 50, but it gets so the fire off it, and there's no effect to the liquidiness of it. It almost like deflects, even with it does take damage, but it doesn't seem to affect the infection. But it definitely took some damage there as that clatters off it as we come to Dante.
Okay, well, I can't move towards the thing.
You cannot.
So I am going to remind me, who's got a does anyone have a, well, was it me or was it Eleni that dropped a powder keg? Because I know we had one each, didn't we?
I thought I did. I thought I dropped
Yeah.
one.
We
Yeah.
dropped one. We've dropped one powder keg.
I thought that was mine. I thought you still had one.
Cool. Okay. Then I'm going to roll a powder keg, or just kind of to the front of this car.
Okay.
And that, I'm assuming that's like kind of effectively like one action, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna like kind of put it there. Is there anything I can do to effectively try to goad this thing towards me?
I mean, you can try a intimidation or persuasion.
Yeah.
Although it seems pretty locked on you right now. Give me an
Yeah.
insight very quickly before this.
Oh, natural 20.
Okay, so
That's
you
what I fucking
actually
waste that on.
Yeah, actually, and it makes perfect sense because that second, you know, the moment just then where it like Golem's looking at you, arm fired at Eleni, and there was a pause. You have had that pause when Tenebris tried to do something with your body that you tried to stop. Does that, if that makes sense? So, like, he went to attack, you held him, and then he was just like, get out of the way, and did it anyway. There were one mind in there wanted to attack Eleni, one wanted to attack you. The one that wanted to attack Eleni won.
Okay, then I'm going to. So that was one action, one attack.
One attack to roll it forwards.
Yeah. I'm
Well, you would see this
moving.
about gunpowder keg just rolling
gotta
towards.
move. I'm going to be moving this backwards. I'm going to yell out to the others. Get up, get behind me. So that's 5 foot, 10 foot, 15.
Mm,
And
I've only got little legs.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of say what's a safe radius for this idea. Yeah, fuck it.
Bolu, as he says this, I'm going to point it out. You just spared the dying a guy over there.
I know.
Yeah, it means fuck all to me.
I know.
And I'm going to hold my other action, the other attack.
No, you can't hold an attack. You have to hold an action, I believe.
Oh fuck! I thought it was
hold your full action, or
son of a bitch. But
which
to be
is
fair,
annoying how that works.
Yeah, that is really fucking annoying.
Yeah,
Oh
because you also only get one, which is annoying as well.
yeah. I've got skills here that I've totally forgot I had. They're not useful for me at the moment, but it's just nice to see. Fine, okay.
And do you want to make an intimidation or persuasion to try and goad it as well?
Yeah, go on, and I'll try to.
I'm going to say that's your bonus.
Actually, you know what? Then if I can't, I'm just going to shoot the guy because why? The
Okay.
fuck?
Yeah.
That was 19. I think that.
Just wait.
Didn't
No.
it?
As it is going to hit, and again, that there's like a shimmer as it clatters off magic.
Oh, to be fair, that should have been disadvantage anyways. Actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I forgot about. And then I'm going to just yell out to anybody. Just be like, the car as he walks past. And kind of gesture towards the barrel that is there waiting. Because at least these guys have fire on their weapons.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, say, assuming intimidation or persuade or whatever is.
Which one you want? Yeah. It's a bonus, whichever one you want to roll.
Don't think it matters. Intimidation +3. Yeah. Oh, yeah, 21.
Okay. What are you saying to it as you fire off and it off it? Aileen, you're up next.
I'm just gonna look at it, just like. Do you think you can deal with me, you gelatinous prick?
Okay, it is fixed in.
I'm just
Okay.
gonna like stood there looking at it, kind of scared. Looks all
Yeah. Okay. After which, Eleni. So, Eleni, you
Okay.
look at Tabitha. She's still looking unwell. She's coughing and spluttering. As you're looking, her arms are shaking.
I'm moving back to her. I'm going to pull an arrow,
Hmm.
watch it light up, and I'm going to say, "Do you trust me?" And then I'm going to grab the arrow
I don't
and I'm
fucking
going to
know.
stab her in the leg with it. But
Do you trust me? Stab,
non-lethal.
stab, stab, stab.
It
Well, I'm gonna
doesn't
say-
matter
well,
if you trust me.
I'm gonna say as well.
Because I can do non-lethal
You don't
if
have
it's
to. Well,
melee.
I'm gonna say as well. You don't have to stab her. If you want, if the point is to burn her, right, you could touch.
I'm trying to get rid of the infection.
In the same
So
way you would cauterize a wound,
yes.
you wouldn't stab it. You would press the side
Well,
of
it
the hot
depends how
metal
deep the
against the
wound
skin.
is, but yes.
No, and this is surface, right? Like because
Okay.
it's pustules on the top. Okay, so just roll your fire damage.
Okay.
And as she's like, fucking,
Six.
just fucking do it. And you like, the flames immediately, like you touch the arrow to it, and the flames ripple up and down the blisters, and almost like as it running through a line of oil, right? It like follows the line. She screams, and as that does 6 points, and you hold it for a second and pull away, and as the flames die down, the infection is gone, but she is covered in heavy burns and
Yeah.
she slumps. She is still conscious, but she is not in a good way.
Is she? So she's still conscious. She's not.
She's still conscious. I'm just letting
Death
you know that
saves,
she's
anything like that?
really injured right now.
Okay. No, that's okay. I wanted to
She's
be
like,
next to her.
Did it work? Did it
And I'm going to
work?
say yes. I think it did. So that's
Good. I
one.
can't do that again. I can't do that again.
That's one attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So second attack is going to be longbow at the guy. Is he looking injured at all? The golem.
Hard to tell. It's not moving like it is.
But he looks different from how he started off.
It's
He's more
covered
solid
in
than he was.
covered in arrows, more solid than they were before. It's now only like liquid from the upper arm down.
Yeah.
It's almost completely uncovered now.
So we are changing how he looks, not necessarily.
And where the arrows have hit, it's
Yeah.
chipping and it's damaging. There is damage to them, but it is also a 16-foot piece of rock. Like, how do you know how healthy it is? So it doesn't, in the way it's moving, it seems fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna fire my other longbow shot at him.
Okay.
That's a 14.
14 just off the armor.
Okay. And then I am going to pick up Tabitha
Okay.
because I can carry things as if I'm a large, and she's
Yeah,
only
and she's
little.
small. Yeah.
So does that still put me at half speed?
Nope.
So I'm going to move as a full.
You have to factor
circle.
it in for obviously one arm is carrying something, but it doesn't slow you.
Yeah, I'm just literally going to scoop her up in one arm And I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way over to here with her. And pull her back.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, as it goes to Tabitha, she will
Yeah.
sort of slump in your arms a little bit, very weakly raising a hand and firebolting at it, but it just over into the distance as you see she's like, yeah, it's definitely spent. And we come to Volu.
Can I just as well shout out? It's Dante's fire. I'm shouting that at Volu. It's Dante's fire.
Yeah, so my crossbow would work.
And Dante, I'll say you hear that, but it's almost like it was muffled, except for because a lot of this has been muffled while you're in this form for the first full time. But the word Dante sort of like tuned you in for a second. And as we come to Volu.
Oh, no point in saving the guy so we could like test him and figure out. But I guess we've done that to Tabitha as well, haven't we?
Maybe you want to let a guy die. I'm gonna have to shift the alignment of this group.
No,
Don't you go shifting my alignment.
this is genuine, like a fight
No,
or
okay,
flight.
yeah.
So rather than being death race happy, this is like a.
I think the death race already locked in a slight alignment change for some of us.
Yeah.
I don't think I did anything particularly bad.
And I think
Yeah.
as you're having this moment, there's like flashes of being back in the Feywild and the different trainings that you had, and you were taught about the sanctity of life and the importance of nature and the importance of healing things. And
Yes, I know.
while Tanabori was, vengeful against those that wronged them, and punishment where punishment is due, a life is, and I think the last words that ring would be that a life is always worth saving, and that is in Tanabori's.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like,
And it's still a choice.
It's always like transactional. Like, if in a death race they signed up to a death race, it's a death race. That's fine. We're not in a death race anymore. Ichi's back. I know we're not. The race is over. But he's gonna kill me. Sod it. I'll try and be heroic. Can I cast Dispel magic on one of the runes?
So, Dispel Magic, you wouldn't cast it on the rune necessarily.
Well, on the creature.
Yeah, so basically you would know the way it works, is you cast it on the creature, and I believe it hits the highest, or is it the lowest? It hits either the highest, the lowest. So if there are multiple things running on it, it will affect the lowest thing running.
Yeah.
So you can.
It says for each spell of 4th level or higher on the target.
Yeah. Those will all.
So it's choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any 3rd level or lower on the target ends. Straight.
Yeah.
For each spell of 4th level or higher.
Oh, okay. So it's okay. So you could. Yeah, you could. So, yes, I would say from what you know about Dispel Magic, it can work.
That's what I was thinking when you said the cleric stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, Dispel Magic is one of my favorite spells. I used to use it.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. See how much I can get off.
Okay, so what's it look like? So, because Dispel Magic always is a weird one for me because it's the actual act of disrupting magic. So, what does it look like when you're like interfering with somebody else's weave?
So I'd almost kind of brush my hand over my cloak, feel that there, go over my my amulet, and kind of get my arm to guide over my arm, and then kind of shoot out towards. And there's almost like a ripple in my hand, trying to unweave the vibrations in the air, and then it goes and tries to dispel the magic.
Okay, as the ripple of energy hits the creature, you would notice that the left and the right sigils go out immediately.
Yeah. So to let you know for the other ones, 4th level and higher, I have to make a
Yeah.
save, and it's DC plus the spell level.
Yeah.
No,
So
10
I
plus the
will
spell level.
need 3.
Where are we? Okay, so I've got +6 on my spell casting.
Mm-hmm.
24.
Okay,
That-
the chest sigil goes off. Dante, you feel that energy that in the air releases, and you are no longer frightened or held at bay.
Perfect.
15.
Okay, the second one, you don't know what it is exactly. There's almost the ripple of magic pulses up and around the liquid cursed arm almost before it just.
Okay, so that's level 6 or higher.
And actually, before you roll the last one, the sigil you didn't recognize on its head, and this is a legendary action for it to a legendary resistance almost, but there's no resisting this. But they're going to impose disadvantage on your roll for this last one.
Okay. Oh. Okay. It was either a 13 or a 14.
Okay, so I will say the first 2 that you met up against, they were just spells that had been cast on the thing, if that makes sense. As you hit that last one, you feel a presence of magic that you have never felt, almost waft your spell away, as if a breeze just misdirected your spell. And I will say that you are with it enough to think that's the function keeping it running. So that's the creator's magic. Whoever created this is freaking powerful.
I would have loved if you nat 20 because that's just like
I would have loved if
that
you
would have
nat
been an
20, yeah.
instant death.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rolu, so you pulse out, you see the sigil, and it does for a second like halt, but then you see it's like head shift back up as the center glowing. Can everyone? Again, no, we can't until Ichi arrives, and he's not close enough.
Just thought I mentioned door already.
Well, I'm going to come get him, I think.
Hey, what do you mean? I'm doing perfectly fine on my own.
I mean, I can leave you if you want.
No, don't leave me. Don't leave me.
So, Volu, movement and bonus as you cast off this dispelling magic.
Run away!
Okay. You back up. Anything with a bonus?
Where are the creature's eyes gleaming towards?
Still looking at Dante.
Okie dokes. In that case, is it worth it? Is it worth it? I'll bonus a sanctuary on Dante.
Okay. Okay. Okay, end of the term, Ichi. So Ichi,
What did Tabitha do?
Tabitha shot a firebolt but missed, and she is like currently next to unconscious in Eleni's arms. Ichi, as you're still setting off forwards, I would say that you hear the shout behind you. Is Ichi, come back to me! It's too far. We're not going to get there in time. And they're still running towards you. So what I'll say is because of they can move.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to move to get back to them. But then next turn, they can dimension door you to it.
Yeah, I'll use action to dash back up
Because
to them.
he's seeing it going on. You're seeing this creature just like taking hit after hit after hit, and from this distance,
at that kind of moment of that like being yelled at me as well, that's when kind of Ichi looks up and sees Dante, or what I am scared to assume is Dante.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
Ichi just kind of looks up. As soon as they see that, they just kind of like freeze for a moment, turn, and then yeah, they'll just sprint back to the mage.
Yeah, because of how far closer you got it, their 500 now should bring you to the fight essentially.
Sure.
And as we get back to the top of the round, the glyphs on the golem begin to glow again. Not fully started up, but just showing that reanimation as it begins to almost take a full stance up. That is where we are going to end part 1 of this episode.
Ooh.
Thank you very much for watching. As always, thank you very much for playing. If you're enjoying what's going on, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you know when the videos are coming out. If you want to see if Ichi ever makes it, I mean, it is a valiant sacrifice. Definitely, you've won the Chaos Bolts, the prize, but at what cost?
Chaos Embers.
At what the Chaotic Embers.
Yeah.
But as always, roll well. Bye. This is the end of part 1. Part 2 airs Sunday 7 PM GMT, or will be linked in the top right of your screen now. Thank you for watching, and roll well.